Hey, welcome back to part 3 of our fairy, and we are going to be decorating the fairy. So you can see we've got her hair, her head, her body and her dress. So I'm going to use a dream from World of War, and I'm just going to take chunks and I'm just going to add it like this. It's nice and fluffy. Don't worry about these marks at the moment, just work on getting it on because we're going to be adding quite a lot of detail to this. I'm going to tack it over, felt it in, just like that. So I don't want you to see any of the white. Now, I'm going in quite deep because it's going to take a bit to get this to work in. Moving it round. I like this pale blue colour. Oh, it's like a baby blue. Sorry about that, it's the noise of my fridge. Just doing something. Get some more. Again, I'll do it like this. This stuff's really nice to work with, it felts really quickly. If you wanted to make the whole dress out of this, you could, then you wouldn't have to do adding on afterwards. You could definitely do that, but it would work out a lot more expensive. We're going to use a bit of merino for the hair on this one. I'll show you the difference in a minute. I'm just tucking it in. Now I don't want a super smooth look. If I show you, here is Merino Sky. So it's a different shade, but you can see how long this is. It comes on a long roll like that. That's much smoother, so it's a bit more like hair. If I was going to use it for this, it would take a lot longer to work it in. I'm just going to pull that out. It would take a lot longer to attach it. You'd see a lot of the marks. It's just a lot more hard work. We don't need to add hard work. So again, it just does take time, I'm afraid. Doesn't matter if we're layering it, because it will cover any gaps. Like I said, I don't want to see any of the white underneath. Just pull that off a bit. Coming under. We'll put this definition of the waist back in a bit, the top of the skirt rather back in a minute. Don't worry about that. And I'm going downwards because it just makes sense to me, but we're not trying to make any effect which way the wool goes, because as you can see, if you add it here, you're not really going to notice. And that sounds hard at the moment because we've got a long way to go, but trust me, this will get felted in and it will look different. But it looks like lovely fluffy clouds, doesn't it? I'd do something with some fluffy clouds. Someone. So at the moment, I'm thinking we've got this lovely light blue colour on the skirt, and we're going to have pink and blue hair, or maybe just pink hair, we'll see. And then I'm going to put flowers on it, I think, on the skirt part, maybe a bit like, sort of like pretty vines, maybe a light green vine that goes up around the top of her dress with like some pink flowers, maybe a bit like blossomy. thinking. Who'd have thought it, a dress designer? Actually really loving this like clumpy cloud look. You could, if you've got a needle hold like this that's only got 4 in it, you could use that just to help. But I find unless I'm going directly down onto a mat, I feel like I just don't feel like it does a lot, and it does. I can see it's working, but I just don't feel like I have a great deal of control with it. I don't know, something about it's not right for this sort of thing. I think it just has to be the long and slow process of knocking it in. We could try using 2 needles to see if that quickens up the... You can get a tool for 2 needles, but I don't have it. Maybe I should treat myself to it, someone. I was thinking about a summer one, like with bees or something, like black and like a bee scout or something like that. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, I would like to do a fairy for each of the seasons. Okay, let's get some more. Go into 1 needle. I can just feel that I'm hitting the wire along here. A lovely way, oops, to spend an afternoon, not stabbing myself, just doing something nice and calm like this. And hopefully we'll get a really, really nice end result. Something really pretty and special to have for as long as the wool lasts, really. We don't squish it. So I need to get myself some boxes so that when I put away my seasonal, because I make pretty much everything I make is like very seasonal. So I really do need to get myself a box to put in some of the seasonal bits. You can see I haven't tucked that piece over because it was quite a large piece. I've just moved it around. So you could leave your skirt quite flowy, your dress quite flowy if you wanted to, if you didn't want to add a lot of detail. But unfortunately, because I want to add a lot of detail, then we need to get this really well felted in. Let's put some more on. Picking up bits of yellow from something else. This has got loads of bits in it. It's a bit more unusual to find loads of bits in it, but it's okay. Did come from sheep. A slightly different way I feel about sheep now I work with wool. They're suddenly a bit more important than I thought they were. As a vegetarian as well, I really see a lot of purpose for sheep. I love seeing little lambs in the spring, and I love wool, so I do crochet as well. But yeah, they're really important. I didn't realise there were so many different sheep as well. And some sheep are really, really gorgeous. I need to learn more about sheep, don't I? So I'm still seeing quite a few gaps, but as you pull this down, as you felt it in, they may well disappear. Let's go back to 2 because this is such a long process. Let me know if you would rather speed up these bits, or if you're joining me to make something like this. If you want to follow it along like this and not sped up. I don't know whether I should be pausing it and moving on quicker. I'm not really sure, but I guess something about you understanding how long this is going to take, so you don't get too disheartened. You're not under an illusion that within a couple of hours you're going to have a nice fairy. I mean, you can make a fairy quickly in different ways. Some people leave they just loop the merino wool round. I'll try and show you that in a bit. And that makes very skirts all like flowy, and but we're not going for that. Now, when I was making my gnome, I'll get him in a minute and show you, I didn't felt him heavily enough. And when I was trying to add in the detail, I was finding it was just disappearing a bit into the wool, which was a bit sad. So I'm not going to make that mistake again. So you could try adding little bits to cover up any whites coming through. We could add huge bits. A bit more in the wool. Those bits in. Might have a go at making a duck someone, I think. Or like a goose, I'm not sure. Made a chicken. That was quite fun. I'm sort of thinking, what else do I need to do for Easter now? I did think about having a go at like a Peter Rabbit character. So you could put some telly on while you're doing this. You could put some music on, because it's going to take a while. And just add where you feel you need it. And it does just take a really long time. That's why when you go on Etsy and you see all the beautiful dolls, why they cost so much money, because they are hours of work and time learning skills. To 2. As you're doing this, kind of looking for an evenness. This is going to take a while to get this where we want it to, but I think we said from the start she was coming forward a bit. The back is going to be slightly more sticking out than the front, but you don't really want massive lumps and bumps unless you're going to make them into a feature, because if a dress was hanging, if you think about like old Victorian dresses, they wouldn't have like hung perfectly unless they had weights in the bottom. There would have been some ripples somewhere, but this is like way too bobbly. It just doesn't look great. It's okay, and if you get fed up, stop. Finish it however you want. Interpret this your own way. Make it your own, absolutely. Don't, if it becomes boring and you get fed up, then you either need a break and come back to it, or you need to just finish it. Just, leave the detail to the next one that you do. Maybe when you're feeling more in the mood. We aren't always feeling creative. And come down. Stand her up, smooth her down a bit. Okay, so still a lot of work to do on this skirt. There's a few patches and stuff, but let's move up to, let's go up a bit. So this is the front, this is her head here. I'm not going to give her, I don't want her to be on show very much. Like, I don't, it's not like she's got a V-neck or anything like that. So I'm going to put my finger protectors on, and I'm just going to start adding this, just like this. Now you could bring it down if you wanted to, just pull the wool down and add it to give her a bit of a, let's give her a little bit of a neck. Sort of fancy like putting a bit of a necklace on her, but it might be a bit adventurous. And we're just, you can see that, we're just adding and just move it around and add. And it's just going to blend in so well with the skirt. You shouldn't really see a big line where you've added it. That's one of the bonuses with this wool. It will just attach really nicely. You could do a different colour top if you wanted. Of course you could. And don't worry about like this big chunk here either. Don't think, oh no, you're gonna see a big line, because you won't. So you just make this all blend in so well, so clever. That's why I love this wool. I'm not cutting something out and it's gone wrong and you can't use it. It's just felt. It's just wool, I mean, that you felt. It's just comes in lovely like this. You manipulate it to the shape you want. Okay. Now we're starting to get somewhere now, aren't we? Feels like it. So I want to bring this down a bit. We should probably put a skin colour on actually as well to make it easier to blend that in. Let's stop and do that. Let me have a think. What colour shall we do? Her skin. Hold on a second while I just go and grab the colour I need, because I didn't bring it out. Sorry about that. So she could be any colour you want. I've got this merino biscuit, and being that it's merino, it's not the most fun to work with. So it's going to take a bit of work, unfortunately. But like I said, we're not giving her any details. So I'm just looping this over like this, remembering that the back of her head is not so important. She's going to have hair, so you don't necessarily want to waste wool. You might feel like you just want to, but we're just going to attach it like this. Leave that lazy, not do too much on there. I just don't want it coming off. Now, I've been quite clever to not put my needle on the front of her face too well, because it's just, I find it really hard work blending. So we either go for it and she has a very loose face like this, or we put loads of effort in and I spend ages. If you can see right here, you get a lot of needle marks. That would take quite a lot of work to get those out. I can drop to a slightly more gentle needle, but because she's going to have hair and because she's not going to have any features, I'm going to leave her face quite just like loose and woolly looking. That's personal preference, obviously. So I'm actually holding it at the back. I'll make sure it's well attached there. Do you find I use this colour biscuit a lot? I think I got it to make some biscuits, like to make some like Jammy Dodger biscuits and stuff, and I don't know if I did make one. I put some biscuits and cakes on my Christmas tree, needle felted ones, but I don't think I ended up making one. Not sure. Right, you could cut this off because I've got way too much here, but I'm just going to poke it in. I want you to kind of see a little bit how difficult it is to work with merino like this. Obviously that is a big clump, you wouldn't put such a big clump on, but it looks like a little bun, doesn't it? Now depending on what you're doing with needle felting, merino might be really good, might be just what you need. If you're trying to make like fur and you actually want to cut it to look like fur, then merino will probably be really good for you. So let's just go in round here a bit, because she's not got much definition, has she? She's lost her definition. That's the front. It's the front. So yeah, you do need to make a decision as to where is the front of her dress. Okay, that is quite loosely added on there. That's not going to come off. What's going on here? And we're definitely going to put some sort of definition around this neck, otherwise it's just not going to look great. Now we could do that with another colour. We could add another colour to put like a detail on the neck. And then I suppose it's a bit like, how skinny do you want to make her? I would like her to be a bit skinnier. Once you put the hair on, it's not a final stage, but if you're messing around with it lots, you might disrupt the hair a bit. And if like I want my hair nice and flowy and long, I think I'm going to leave the hair till last. So I think so the longer you spend doing this, the skinnier she's going to get. If you want her skinnier, slightly concerned that there's it's a little bit too loose just round here. We'll be a bit careful that I don't end up putting loads of needle marks. I really like that her face looks a bit like you've just put some wool on her. Now, everything doesn't always have to be like a perfect replica, but obviously if you want to go ahead and give it a real good felt, carry on. Right, let's go back just quickly and give this just a bit more of a bash in, because it's feeling really loose. And what we'll do is we will make the arms, and then I think I will spend a bit of time doing this and finish the detail. I don't think I'm going to get that done today though, so you might have to wait a little while for that video to come out. So apologies for that. But let's get the arms made so you know how to make an arm. So I've already made one, but I will show you how to do it. And we're just going to add it on like that. Okay. So what we do, you don't need very much at all. Just take your wool. And then I've got a barbecue skewer. If you don't have one of these, you need to find something really skinny. Cocktail stick is a bit small, but it probably would work. So we're just going to pop this on here. I'm just tucking that over and just encouraging it to roll. Just rolling it up. Can you see that? Just encouraging. I'm going to pull it down that way a bit so she has a longer arm. Like that. Oh, and you can see that there was some green on here from something else I was doing. I picked that up. I really need to clean this because rolling it helps. So it's a bit of friction, but it will pick up. You can see there's some other colours on here. How long did I do the last one? Probably wants to be a little bit longer. So we'll just add a bit more, especially as I can see some green on the bottom. Same thing again. Underneath. Just rolling it. That's not rolled as well as I would have liked. We'll use some friction on that. We are going to use our needle, but I do want to use the friction. I'm just going to put a tiny bit more because I really feel like I messed that up. There we go. Let's put So now I'm going to start just really carefully dabbing. I'm actually hitting the cloth rather than the stick underneath. You will hit the stick, so you're doing it gentle. Hopefully it won't do too much damage. I'm going to leave this end quite fuzzy so it helps when you go to attach the arm. Now don't get too worried about the arms. The more arms you make, the better you get. Just give it a bit more of a rub. You could do it between your hands. Okay, and then I'm just going to slide it off. That's quite soft. So I've got this one, you can see this one's coming a bit smaller. So now we're going to work on the tip to get that more rounded like an arm. Now I suppose she should have skin colour hands, but we'll see. We may well do her holding something. So I'm just pushing this end in, sorry, like this. Pushing it in to get it round, carefully, gently. How long you spend on this is entirely up to you. You could spend ages if you wanted to. Getting it small, really sturdy. If you wanted to be able to move arms, you'd have to go around some wire. So you could do that using pipe cleaners. You could wrap it around the pipe cleaner and roll it just like we did. And then you'd have movable arms. It's a bit harder to cover the ends of pipe cleaner. It's not impossible, but it's a bit harder. So I'm just going along, making sure I move it up so it doesn't get flat. You can roll it a bit more. This one feels a bit, that one's a bit thinner than this one. We can sort that out with this. So when I attach her arms, I'm sure I've got the front, there's time to work on the wall. You can push it in with your needle as you attach. If you, wrong way around, this one's a bit shorter as well. Yeah, so we could have her holding something, we could do all sorts of things. We're just going to make this body a bit more even. Doesn't quite look right to me. It's too bumpy. Because once you attach the arms, it's going to be harder for you to reach this bit. Not impossible, just harder. Let's just work this one. I've made this one quite a bit bigger, so let's just work on trying to get it smaller. You could, the best way to do this, and what I should have done, is taken 2 pieces of felt the same size and worked with those. And that would have helped me to make sure that I got the arms a similar size. So we learn, I'm still learning. I feel like it's made quite a bit of difference. Okay, so let's get her back. That's her front, isn't it? Honestly, don't worry about this head too much. It will look better once the hair's on. But you can carry on just chunking it in like I am if you want to. The main bit is what's on show. Okay, so I'm gonna put this one on first. Okay, so I'm gonna put, so because we've left this bit at the top nice and loose, it's gonna join really well, like the other one did. I'm gonna just felt that in there going down, but we do need her to have a bit of a shoulder. If in a minute it looks like she doesn't have a shoulder, we may add a bit of wool to give her a bit more of a shoulder. We can worry about that when we get there. And then you could attach it along here. You could poke it in so it goes all the way through. You could have it up really close, or you could have it quite loose. Because this one's smaller, I'm going to add it back there. I think I'm going to add a bit more wool to both the shoulder parts because it just doesn't look quite right. This one is looking a bit smaller, so I could redo it and do another one, but we'll keep going. Let's turn this around so I can do this better. Now, because of this video, I'm probably not felting this as much as I would like. So I think it's going to need a lot more felting. So just adding a piece here, you can still see, just to get this bits in the wall, just to get this arm looking better, this join looking better. Now we could give her puffy sleeves. See, if something goes wrong, you can always add, oh, I think that would look really nice. I'm doing puffy sleeves now, definitely. Let's do puffy sleeves. Actually surprised by how much of this wool I'm using on her. Right, we're going for a puffy sleeve now. Never done a puffy sleeve before, but I like the idea. Hopefully it won't disappear when we add the hair. There is a slight danger that it may disappear when we add the hair. So I'm just going round. The sun just keeps going in and out, and then it rains. Horrible. The end of February, so it could be snow, so I guess be grateful. It's only rain. Okay. I'm just going to felt this in a bit to stop it moving because it does feel very tiny. Let's put a puffy sleeve on the other side too. It's actually not that puffy, is it? But never mind. You can add as much detail as you want. So if you've got a line that you like, this bit here, you don't like the way that looks, you could put some detail on there. You could cover it with her hair, all sorts of things. So again, with her hair flowing, we probably aren't even going to see her back, are we? But we'll see. So I'm kind of happy with that. It's not as puffy sleeved as I would like, and this arm is still a bit too big, but we still got a chance to make it smaller. And we could add some colour to her hands as well. We shall see. Okay, so actually, like, that's quite a lot we've done in this space of time, isn't it? I'm quite pleased with that. But this skirt, if we're going to add detail to this dress, it's going to need to be much stiffer. Okay, we're going to add some more. Let's go back to 2 needles. I think it's easy to like get to a point where you're beginning to see an end and then like want to rush the last stage, and if I start adding flowers now, it's just going to be so hard and I'll really regret it, depending on how detailed I want the flowers to be. But I think if we're going to do like a blossom, it's actually like brown, isn't it? Brown, like Japanese, I'm thinking like Japanese maple blossom, that sort of thing. Use the brown twig and then white and pink on the little flowers. Yeah, that's what I want to do. It's just how much do I want to felt? How much do I need to felt? Now you could get your skirt really, your dress will have really well felted before you add the arms or anything. I am rushing this a little bit for the purpose of the video. I'm not sure if anyone's going to have the patience to watch this and listen to me blubber. Bit more colour. Oops. Just filling in some bits where I can see white coming through. I'm quite pleased with it so far. Okay, now I've forgotten about her wings, haven't I? Last ferry I did a huge wing. I don't think I want to do huge wings this time. Have to have a think about what we want to do with her wings. Or we don't give her wings, so she could be a fairy without wings, I suppose. Couldn't she? Oh, it's getting really windy outside. Oh, that's just typical, that is. I live quite near trees. We've got trees surrounded us really, so it gets really noisy when the wind blows. There's a big clump down the bottom here. This bit we could just spend hours doing, couldn't we? I think you can see that. Could just spend hours on this bit. If anyone actually has a go at making one of these, please do like comment or link me or something. I'd love to see if this has given like anyone any inspiration, even if you you follow like something different but you use the colours or something, anything like that. I live in hope that I might be some inspiration to someone someday. Mind you, if you're still watching now, you're obviously quite dedicated to this. Right, we're just going to try this multi-tool. Just want to see if it does much. I feel like it's fluffing it up almost more. Now I'm going to switch my needle to I think this is 34 triangular, just to see if it helps a bit. So again, I'm not so sure what we're going to see of the back with the hair and the wings. So our focus should probably be more on the front and the side. And I spent, what did I make? Something. Oh, I made a witch, and I started to put some detail on her, and her cloak covered it all up. And I was like, oh, I spent all that time putting that detail in only to cover it up with a cloak. It's how we learn, isn't it? By the mistakes we make. Okay. There are gaps down the bottom. There's no way around it. Go back to a different, bigger needle. in. I was just suddenly aware that you could see that from the bottom. Now I'm just, don't know if you can see, I'm just tapping down the bottom to make it a bit more, like to make it flatter so it looks like it sits almost on the floor. But she's standing up brilliant, so I'm well happy with that. Okay, these shoulders are a bit wonky, but again, the hair's probably going to hide some of that. Let's just go in with our softer needle a minute, just see if we can soften this up a bit. I think I'm going to have a go and see if we can put some blossom onto her dress, and just see, because I could do this for hours, and some people will do this for hours to get it perfect, and if it doesn't work, we'll stop. Now I am waiting for my pale pink carded corridor to come from World of Wool. I think it's probably going to come the weekend, so we're not going to wait that long. So I have some pink here I got from a set, so I can't tell you the exact colour, but this pink here is Candy Floss. I've ordered Candy Floss Corridor, which I think would work. You can see this is not the same colour, it's brighter, but this is what we've got, this is what we're going to work with. Not a massive amount, but it should be enough. Let's have a look at her. Yeah, she's not too bad, is she? Like I said, she might be holding something yet, maybe a wand, I don't know. Let's do some brown. If I got that as black. So again, I'm going to use, no, I'm not going to go and get a brown so I don't run out. Sorry, disorganised, I didn't think we'd get this far. I'll go and grab a brown and I shall be straight back. Sorry, I should have brought all my supplies. I should have brought all my supplies with me, shouldn't I? Sorry about that. Let's have a look. I'm thinking, like, I feel like the Japanese Blossom is quite a light brown. I've got Fox, which might work, but that might be too light. I've got two different brands. I think we don't want Grizzly Bear. I'm not sure now what colour to use. I feel like I don't quite have the right colour, so we're going to try a little bit of Grizzly Bear, I think, or do we just go for Bear? Or this one is Mocha. Is that too dark? Let's go for, this is Grizzly Bear. It has like white in it as well. And I'm just going to pull it apart a bit. And we're going to try and see if we can get much of this to stick. If not, we're going to have to felt it more. So it's going in. So what happens is if you're pushing loads and loads and loads, you end up getting massive indents where you felt it to. We can go round that though to try and help. So let's just pop one in there. I want this at a bit of an angle. You can push down lightly as well, you don't have to push really hard, but you can already see that this is like felted down quite a lot. I think the honest truth is I need to felt this more, but we'll keep going if we can. Now I quite like that this is textured. This to me has a bit of a like barky effect to it. I'm just pushing this down too so that it doesn't look quite so obvious. It indents too much, it just, to me it's just like you've just not felted enough. And honestly, this is not a quick craft. So we'll come up here. Come up here. And just let that naturally get smaller like it would if you were, if it was a natural branch, it would just get smaller, wouldn't it? Go in. And then going around it too if it is making it sink in loads. But yeah, in an ideal world we'd be felting this loads more, I think. We'll do it as we go along. Okay, and then I'm just gonna pop a little bit more. And I'm just rolling it a little bit. And we'll join it here so it looks like it's coming off like a natural extension. And look how that blends, so good. And again, like it would just naturally tail off. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to have to stop filming soon because I've got a little boy to go and pick up from school. But what I'm going to do is add on a little bit of cherry blossom, and then we will come back another day and do some more. So here we go. I'm just rolling it. Got a little bit of water on my hands. Always good to have a little cup of water by the side of you. Too big, much too big. Put a bit off. Right, maybe make that smaller. And we're just going to dot this on off to the side slightly. I'm going to use my other needle. Push that in gently. And around. And I think if I carry on like this, I think what's going to happen is that I'm just going to end up like pushing this down, so the whole thing will get felted quite a bit more. But we shouldn't lose the shape because I think she's stiff enough that I can do it this way. Not ideal. Let's make another one slightly smaller if I can. And I think to just cover this in, obviously as it gets nearer to the top, they get smaller. If you think you can pull it off if it's too big or you don't like it, but you can tuck these in quite a bit. Yeah, I'm going to try maybe smaller bits. But I think that's going to look really nice. Should we try doing a white one as well? I don't have my white with me. And let's not make you wait any longer. So I'm going to fill this with blossom. I'm going to add it all the way around. I'm going to add some white in with that. Might make these smaller. And then when I've done that, I will come back and we will do the wings and all the other bits. So this video is not too long. So if you're doing that, I hope you managed to get on with it, and I will be back again soon. Thank you. Bye.